All right, come to that restful posture. Taking anything you need here to feel supported for the next 30 minutes of class. Child's pose can be big toes to touch, knees as wide as feels comfortable, maybe out toward the outside edges or closer together underneath you. Walk your belly forward, fingers walk forward, forehead melts to the mat. And allow for a moment here, gravity to really press you down. Feel your hips fall towards your heels. Spine is long. Take a big inhale, fill up your belly through your nose. Big open mouth exhale. One more just like that, clearing breath. Big inhale through your nose, fill up your belly even wider. Open mouth exhale. And then come to seal your lips and allow that breath to come in and out of your nose natural. Natural and spontaneous, whatever cadence it naturally wants to go to. Become aware of the location of your breath. Is it in your chest? Is it in your belly? The texture of your inhales and your exhales. And then how you're feeling right now in this moment. Option as we move through practice to have just a little bit of Ujjayi pranayama. So just that little constriction there at the base of your throat, as if you're listening to the ocean inside of a conch shell, in and out, just light texture. Heating up the body just a little bit as if it's a furnace. So that little heat, that little texture will help warm up your body, keep your mind focused on that breath because you can hear it. But keep it really gentle. On your next inhale, lift your forehead off the mat. Come to tent your fingers. And then exhale, walk your fingers off the right side of your mat for a little right side stretch. Release your hips back and then release your forehead to the mat. Walk your left fingertips a little bit past your right, opening that left side of your body, space between your left shoulder and your left hip. Take another big inhale here. Let gravity weigh you down. Release your forearms and elbows to the mat if it feels right. Take a big, giant inhale in. Open mouth exhale. Melt a little closer to the mat. Inhale, lift your forehead up. Walk your hands through center. And then exhale, walk your fingertips off the left side of your mat. Release forehead to the mat. Right hip towards your right heel. And then right fingertips walk just a little bit past your left. Again, space on the right side of the body. Take a big inhale, fill up. Big exhale, melt to the mat. Inhale, lift your forehead, walk back to center. Exhale, come back to child's pose. Take another big inhale here. Exhale out. Draw your hands underneath your shoulders. Gently press yourself up. Coming to sit on your shins. If this doesn't feel good, if you'd rather sit directly on your seat, you can totally do that too. We're just going to tap into a little bit of that upper back stretching. So however you want to be seated here. I like to be lifted a little bit on my knees. And sometimes I even take a block and take it this way and have it kind of on the medium setting and then come to rest my seat on it. So take a big inhale, come to find a nice tall spine, bring your shoulders back over your hips. See how long you can grow the top of your head up towards the ceiling and how much you can press down your tailbone into the earth. Take another big inhale here. Exhale, settle your shoulders away from your ears. On your next inhale, sweep your arms up overhead, biceps in line with your ears, palms face one another. And then open your arms out to a Y shape. So just kind of coming, yes, perfect. Palms face forward. And then actively pull your shoulder blades down towards your tailbone, yes. And then activate those lat muscles. Think about drawing your elbows forward a little bit, yes. And then tuck your chin in towards your throat. Yep, that's perfect. And then just come to create this Y shape. And really draw your your shoulder points, like those little points on your shoulder blades, down towards your hips. And then make sure to check in with your tailbone too. I like to pop my booty out. Just take that booty and tuck it underneath you by gently activating your core muscles. Draw your navel towards your spine. Good. Take another big inhale here. Nice active drawdown in your shoulders. Good. Inhale, reach back up, kind of relax those muscles under your armpits. Arms reach, biceps by ears. Good. As you exhale, come through the Y shape and then draw your elbows down, taking the shape of a W. So your elbows are the 2 points, right? Your head is that middle point. Same activation. Draw your elbows down this time. Draw the points of your shoulder blades down towards your hips. Activate your core. Point your tailbone down towards your heels. Good. Yes. And then chin in gently towards your throat, but keep your gaze kind of neutral on the horizon. It's just thinking about drawing that whole top of your spine nice and long. Pulling down, drawing up separate directions. Take another big inhale here. Good. Exhale, stay. Draw down just a little bit more. Good. Inhale, reach back up. Release the activation underneath that armpit. And then kind of just like as if someone was shaking out your arms, just gently kind of shake your shoulders and your elbows out. Yeah, there you go. Perfect. Take another big inhale, reach up. And then exhale, coming through the Y and then coming through the W. Stop right here and then fully extend to the shape of a capital T. So arms come out. Keep a gentle bend. Palms still face forward, maybe a little bit up towards the ceiling. Good. Shoulders draw down, elbows draw down gently. Make sure not to lock out any part of that elbow. Good. Nice gentle bend there. And then same thing. Gentle pull of the chin in towards the throat. Shoulders draw down. Those shoulder points are drawing down towards your hips. Arms are reaching away from you. Crown of the head reaches up. Tailbone reaches down, feeling pulled in every direction by one of those like medieval torture devices is what I'm imagining. Take a big inhale in. Pull that activation down. Stay with the exhale. Good. Inhale, reach your arms up overhead. And then exhale, gently release them to your thighs. And then come to sit nice and tall. Whew, feel into those shoulders. They're probably lit up a little bit. Armpits lit up. That lat muscle, that almost wing muscle underneath your armpit feels probably pretty lit up. And just come into a big inhale here. Big exhale. Sit nice and tall. Draw your chin in towards your throat. Good. Roll over your knees. Come to a tabletop position. Plant your palms under your shoulders. Good. Belly draws up towards your spine. Press into the tops of your feet. Just stay active here. Take a big inhale. Stay neutral in your tabletop. As you exhale, come into cat pose. So press into the mat, dome your back, gaze goes to your thigh or to your navel, chin to your chest. Inhale, drop your chest, drop your belly, lift your gaze, lift your tailbone up, kind of shape of a U. Take a big inhale here. Good. Exhale, cat pose. Everything presses away, lifts up, defy gravity. Inhale, let gravity pull you down, but your gaze lifts, tailbone lifts, cow pose. Good. And then exhale, neutral spine. Perfect. Walk your hands a few inches, or actually walk your hands about 6 inches away from you. And then turn your fingertips to point a little bit towards the upper hand corners of your mat. Tuck your toes. Inhale, lift your knees up, hover your knees a few inches off of your mat. Take a big inhale. And then exhale, press your hips up and back. Come into a nice, gentle downward facing dog. And then big pedal out of the heel. So press your heel to the floor, bend your opposite knee towards you, and then pedal that out. Good. Taking your time here, breathing into this. And then once you've pedaled out the heels, come into stillness. Open your stance a little bit. Take your feet towards hip width distance and a little bit wider, actually. Knees have a gentle bend, and then hands even come a little bit wider. Fingers point out just a little bit towards the upper hand corners. Press evenly into your palms. Take a big inhale in. Big exhale out. Press into your palms. Gaze towards your navel. Press your chest towards your thighs. Good. Yes. Take one big juicy inhale here for downward facing dog. Stay for your exhale. Good. Inhale, slowly roll forward to a high plank. So hands are wide, feet are still wide. Take a big inhale, drop your hips in line with your shoulders. Good. Take a big breath here. Exhale, stay. Inhale, shift forward gently, press through your toes. And then exhale, lower all the way down to the mat. Holy moly. Take your time. Release your belly, your chest, your chin to the mat. Toes stay tucked. Good. Take a big inhale. Big exhale. Right arm goes long. Palm can face down or it can flip up towards the ceiling, but start with it down and then have a gentle bend in that right elbow. Good. Press into your left hand. Stack the left side of your body on top of your right. Just a little shoulder opener here. Option to bend the left knee up towards the ceiling. Step the left toes behind the right thigh and kind of allow gravity to press you open. Right head finds the mat below you. Relax here for just a moment. And again, option to flip that palm up towards the ceiling. Option to flip it back to the floor. Playing around with the different angles of the arm, but be gentle here. And maybe you just stay into stillness. Take a big breath in. Big breath out. Let gravity hold you down. Good. Inhale, fill up. Exhale, release the left side of your body back down to the mat. Good. Bring right palm back underneath right shoulder. Take one big breath here. Exhale, release your left arm long out beside you. Palm can stay down or it can flip up, but maybe start with it down. A gentle bend in that left elbow. Inhale, fill up. Exhale, press into that right palm, stack right side of your body onto the left. Whew. Option to bend that right knee, place the right toes behind the left leg. Good. Release the left side of the head into the mat. Take a big breath here. Big breath out. Gravity weighs you down, does the work here. No forcing, no pushing. Good. Option to flip the palm up to the ceiling or keep it face down. Stillness or movement, whatever feels right. Take another big breath in. Stay for your exhale. Good. Inhale, prepare. Exhale, slowly release the right side of the body onto the mat. Draw your left palm underneath your left shoulder. Take a breath here. Chin presses into the mat. Stay for your exhale. Good. Inhale, come up into Sphinx pose. Elbows underneath your shoulders, forearms and palms press into the mat. If you feel any pinch in that low back, walk your elbows a little bit away from you, or you can always lay a blanket underneath your belly to help lift you up just a little bit. But actively keep your core active too. So don't just dump all of that weight into your low back. Actively keep that core alive. Press gently into your hips. Take a big breath in and a big breath out. Right fingertips come to point towards your left elbow. And then left fingertips come to point towards your right. So you're just crisscrossing your forearms in front of you. And then very gently start to walk your fingertips towards the opposite side of the mat. Just rocking your elbow from side to side, gently walking. And then once you kind of hit a point where you don't have any more room, start to walk your hips forward a little bit. So then you come to bring your shoulders over your arms. Good. And then maybe you find just a little bit more room. Take a big inhale, look directly below you, draw your chin in towards your throat. Nice long spine here. And then exhale, gently release your chin towards your left bicep, kind of using it as a rest. Or if you have a block close by, you can always take that on whatever level and rest it underneath your forehead. Again, coming to try to find some release and relaxation here. Let go of your leg muscles a little bit if you can. Option to play with your palms down or flip them up towards the ceiling. But be gentle. Take a big breath in. Big breath out. Relax something more. One more big breath in. Big breath out. You can stay here if it feels good. If you're ready to move on, gently lift your gaze up to the top of your yoga mat. Start to walk your elbows back in towards their original sides. And then come back into Sphinx posture. Elbows under shoulders, forearms, palms press into the mat in front of you. Take a big breath in. Lift your crown of your head up towards the ceiling. Good. Exhale, left fingertips towards your right elbow, right fingertips towards your left elbow. Good. Start walking your opposite fingertips to opposite sides. Once you feel like you've reached that point of no return, gently walk your hips up a little bit, shoulders move forward. Maybe you find a little extra room. And then take a big inhale, draw your chin in towards your throat, nice long spine. And then exhale, release your chin to your right, right bicep, or again to that block underneath your forehead. See if you can't let go of a muscle that doesn't need to be used right now. Come back to your breath. Make sure you're not holding your breath. Keeping it natural in and out of your nose with maybe a little constriction, a little ujjayi. Take a big breath in. As you exhale, let something go. One more big inhale for good measure. Relax your body. Exhale. Again, you can stay here as long as it feels good. Gently lift your forehead and your gaze up towards the top of your mat. Walk your elbows back to their respective sides. And then gently come to place your stacked palms in front of you and then release your forehead to your stacked palms. Take one breath in. Feel into your shoulders. Feel the blood come back. Exhale, let gravity weigh everything down, press you into the mat. Feel heavy, heavy, heavy. Come lift your forehead up off stacked hands. Hands press underneath shoulders. Gently press yourself back. Come to child's pose, but keep your knees pretty close together. They don't have to be touching, but maybe about hip width distance. Hips towards your heels. Good. Forehead to mat. Fingertips towards the top of the mat. Feeling maybe a little bit more compression in the hip creases here. Take a big breath in. Feel the difference in your body, in your breath. Exhale, release. Good. Coming into puppy posture. Start to lift your forehead up off the mat. Start to walk your fingertips forward. Lift your hips up towards the ceiling. Gaze can stay down. You can keep your forehead down, but start to release your chest and your heart towards the mat. Hips reach up. Good. Perfect. Option to even intensify this in this little bend here and add it into your neck by walking your chin underneath you and lifting your gaze up, maybe to the mat directly in front of you, maybe to your thumbs, maybe to the top of the mat. Oof, too much for me. Just adding in a little bit of the neck if it only feels good. Otherwise, forehead here, hips up. Good. Maybe walk the knees a little closer to you, a little closer together. Walk your fingertips away, chest releases. Take a big breath in. Big breath out. Good. Coming into dolphin pose if it feels good. Start by walking your elbows in. So lift your forehead up and start walking your elbows in underneath you. So you're going to press your forearms into the mat, press your palms into the mat. Keep your fingers wide. Tuck your toes. And then start to lift your hips up towards the ceiling. Straighten your legs out. So basically forearm downward facing dog. Gaze can stay underneath you, like underneath the mat in front of you. It can go between your elbows, or it can go behind you, through to the wall behind you, through your legs. And then try to keep your fingertips pointing up towards the top of the mat. If they start to come in towards one another, just gently walk them away. Good. Shoulders open. Press your chest through. Take a big breath here. Good. Big breath out. Stay right where you are. Good. Big breath in. One more. Good. Exhale. Drop down to your knees. Send your hips back. And then hips over heels. Come up to sit on your feet. And then we're going to come into frog pose. So now that our shoulders are going to be feeling a little more open, a little bit more together, a little bit more drawn back rather than drawn forward, we're going to come into frog. So I like to come the long ways onto my mat. I also like to fold my mat in for a little bit of extra cushion on my knees. And that's just simply picking up the mat, folding it double. And sometimes it requires a little tweaking once you get into it too. Place your knees there. Yeah, perfect. And then gently start to open your way into frog pose. So walk, ouch, I think I fell and I have hella bruises on the inside of my knees. But frog pose, knees out. Allow your hips to sink down. But the one thing I will say is don't allow that chest and belly to get droopy. So if you start to feel like your belly is hanging down, your chest is lifting, activate that belly, lift it up, press into your elbows, your forearms. Good. Check in with those legs. Check in with your feet. Look over. Make sure that your knee is blah, 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 blah. Make sure that your heel is underneath your knee. Flex your toes towards your shin. Good. And then press your hips back towards your heels. Hips back towards the wall behind you. Yes. Come back to that body, back to that breath. Make sure you're not clenching anything that doesn't need to be clenched. Check in with your low back. Make sure it feels okay. It feels supported, taken care of. Belly is drawn up towards your spine, and everything is drawing up towards the ceiling above you. Breath is even in and out. Let your gaze soften, because frog is more beneficial if you're here for just a little bit longer. Let your gaze soften or let your eyes close. Unclench your jaw. Release your tongue. And if at any time it feels too much or too overwhelming, draw your shoulders forward. Stay with this breath. Stay in your practice. Stay in this body. Take a big breath in through your nose. Fill up your belly. If your eyes are closed, gently blink them open. Knowing that you can stay in this posture as long as you like. Otherwise, if you're ready to start to move out, gently start to draw your shoulders forward. Draw your hips forward. Start to lengthen out your legs. And then I drop down. Yes, extend the legs behind you. Take a moment here with the legs long. Maybe your chin releases to the floor. Take a big breath in. Bend your knees and then windshield wiper your shins from side to side just to release that low back. Rotate out the hip flexors. Good. And then gently press yourself up and back. Coming into just a nice gentle seat, we're going to come into 3-part breath meditation. So if you want to just come bring a block underneath your seat, or if you want to lay down in a shavasana, supported shavasana, that's good. Wherever you can just become conscious of your breath. Again, seated, reclined with a bolster under your back, under your knees, or knees bent up towards the ceiling, heavy towards the middle. Ooh, and just come to something restful, supported, where you can take a moment to let go and just tap into your breath. Good. Once you arrive, make any adjustments to feel relaxed. Let your gaze go heavy, or your eyes can soften and close if it feels safe. Take a big breath into your nose, fill up your belly nice and wide. Open mouth, exhale. Reseal your lips and start a 3-part breath here. As you inhale, filling up your belly, and then your ribs expand to widen that breath. And then your collarbones and chest lift and rise to make space. Exhale from the top, chest and collarbones settle. Ribs contract. Belly draws to spine. Inhale, belly, ribs, chest. Exhale, chest, ribs, belly. Go ahead and take a nice little mini shavasana here for about 90 seconds, focusing on this 3-part breath, staying in this body for just a few seconds longer. Knowing that if this feels good right here, please stay in your shavasana, breathing, zen as fuck. If you're ready to move on, gently wiggle your fingers and your toes. Take a big, full inhale in. And then as you exhale out, go ahead and pick your favorite side, being mindful to gently roll off your props onto one side, coming into fetal position. Big, strong bicep underneath your ear, knees in towards your chest. Taking a moment here just to honor showing up for yourself and giving a fuck for at least 30 minutes of your day, giving a fuck about yourself for at least 30 minutes today, and reminding yourself to give a fuck more often today about yourself. So you're feeling ready, go ahead and gently press yourself up to a comfortable seat. Again, taking your time and allowing yourself to be soft. Once you're at a nice comfortable seat, take a big inhale, reach your arms up overhead as if you're stretching, waking up for the first time. Press your palms together, exhale, hands towards your chest. Press your thumbs into your sternum. Find space in your spine. Your tailbone presses down into the earth, crown of your head lifts up towards the ceiling. Another big inhale, finding that space. Exhale, bow forward. We seal in our practice. Perfect. Thank you, little yogi. Hopefully it was a little 30-minute break to get out of the computer neck because I needed that, and holy moly, there's a lot of stretches I was finding for that upper back and neck that I'll try to start to incorporate into classes a little bit more. So drink some water, be a bad bitch. Hopefully Friday will just end in a easy way and the weekend will be easy and restful after your airport drop off. We'll see you later, girlfriend.